Welcome back, friends. Looking for a thrilling card game that combines strategy and teamwork? Look no further than Nyet. This classic trick-taking game, perfect for 4 players, promises engaging gameplay and endless fun. Let's dive into what makes Nyet a must-play. Nyet is a trick-taking card game with hand management, open drafting, and team-based game mechanics. The game is designed by the acclaimed game designer Stefan Dorra. It was initially published by Goldsieber Spiele in 1997, featuring artwork by Franz Bowenkel. This edition was titled Nyet, Goldsieber carte edition. In this 3 to 4 player game, the players aim to score the most points after a certain number of rounds. In each opening round, titled the Nyet phase, players take turns crossing out possible choices on the game board, leaving only one slot open in each row. The board dictates which rules will be active for the current round. It depicts 5 rows, which starting from the top are the starting player, the number of cards to discard, trump, super trump, and the value of tricks and loot 1. Once every row is filled with only one slot open, the Nyet phase ends. The starting player is determined, that player chooses a partner, and then the team plays out the second part of the round titled the trick phase, based on the conditions they collectively chose. The player with the most points after a certain number of rounds will be the winner. In 2007, Nyet reappeared in a card game collection published by AMIGO and Grande games, titled Moo and Lots More. This collection included 4 trick-taking games from different authors, including Doris Matthäus, Frank Nestel, Stefan Dorra, Karl-Heinz Schimmel, and Gunther Burkhardt. Notably, the artwork was all done by Doris Matthäus herself. In 2015, IELLO published a new edition of the game with artwork by Bibon. It's worth noting that the 2007 and 2015 versions are both slightly different compared to the original game and from each other. In today's video, I'll be featuring the 1997 German Goldsieber Spiele edition, the 2007 release of Nyet from Moo and Lots More, that is from AMIGO and Rio Grande games, and the 2016 Taiwanese GoKids Asmodee Taiwan edition, which is based on the 2015 IELLO English edition. Let's dive into a side-by-side comparison. Then I'll show you how the game is played and give you my final thoughts afterward. Here are the components and game boxes from the 3 games. Please note that I've only included the necessary components for Nyet from the 2007 game Moo and Lots More. So let's get started. Game boxes. Rulebooks. Game boards. Nyet tokens. Playing cards. The 2007 and 2015 editions also include Monster Card, Bonus Card. The 1997 and 2007 editions also include Scoring Pad, Scoring Sheet. The 2015 edition also includes Postcards. Now let's dive into the tutorial and explore how to play using the 1997 Nyet Goldsieber carte edition. Setup. Each player receives a character card of their choice and places it face up in front of them. The game board is placed in the middle of the table, and the 15 Nyet tokens are placed next to it. The oldest player shuffles the cards thoroughly and deals 10 cards to everyone. The player on their left starts the first phase of the game, and it continues in turn. Any player takes the Nyet pad and a pen. They write the players' names above the image of their character card and later record the scores for all players. The game board. The individual rows of the game board determines the following conditions, depending on which light gray field remains free. 1. Starting player. The player with the corresponding character card is the starting player and can choose a playing partner. The other 2 players form the opposing team. 2. Discard. Before the trick-taking game, everyone discards 1 or 2 cards. The cards are placed face down to the side and play no role in the trick-taking game that follows. If the only field that remains free is the Nyet field, the game is played without discarding. 3. Trump. Either the red, black, blue, or green cards are trump. 4. Super trump. Either the two red cards or the black, blue, and green cards are the super trumps. If the only field that remains free is the Nyet field, the game is played without a super trump. All cards that are not super trumps count as the lowest card for their respective suit. 5 points per trick per loot card. It is not the values of the cards that count, but each trick won or each loot card captured counts as 1, 2, 3, or 4 points. How to play. Several rounds are played. Each round consists of 2 parts. In the Nyet phase, the rules for the subsequent trick-taking game are determined. 1. The Nyet phase. The players look at their hand of cards and try to use the Nyet tokens to determine the conditions for the subsequent trick-taking game. Whoever's turn it is takes a Nyet token from the supply and uses it to cover a free, light gray field on the game board. This means that this field is no longer valid for the next trick-taking game. The other players do the same until all 15 tokens have been placed. Important! In each row, there must always be exactly 1 light gray field left free. These open spaces dictate the rules for the next phase. 2. The trick phase. After the starting player has chosen their partner and all players have placed none, 1 or 2 cards face down next to the game board, according to the instructions, the starting player places any card face up in the middle of the table. The other players add a card in turn. You must follow suit, meaning you must also add a card in the suit played by the starting player if you have it. If you cannot follow suit, you may play a trump or super trump. If a trump card is played as the first card, the other players must follow suit with trump or super trump. This also applies if a super trump is played. If a player cannot follow suit or trump, they must play any other card. Once everyone has laid down a card, it is determined who wins these cards. The trick is won by the card with the highest value in the suit played, unless a trump or super trump was played. If both ones in the trick are of the same color, the second one is higher than the first one. If there are 1 or more trumps but no super trump in the trick, the trump with the highest value wins the trick. If there is a super trump in the trick, it wins the trick. If both super trumps are in the trick, the second super trump wins the trick. The player who has won the trick gathers the cards and places them face down in front of them. Further tricks won are also placed individually. The player then places the first card face up in the middle of the table for the next trick. The loot cards. All cards with a value of 1 can become the loot of the opposing team. This also applies to the super trumps. You make a loot whenever you win a trick in which an opposing team player has played a card with a value of 1. Each captured 1 is placed separately and face up next to the trick 1. It is possible that 2 loot cards are captured in one trick. Rating. As soon as all tricks have been played and the players have no more cards in their hands, the score is calculated. Each team counts the number of tricks won and the number of loot cards they have captured. This total is multiplied by the valid number of points. The result is written down separately for each player on the Nyet score pad. After scoring, the Nyet tokens are pushed off the board again. The person to the left of the last dealer reshuffles all the cards and deals 10 to everyone again. A new round with the Nyet phase and trick-taking begins. End of game. The game ends after 8 rounds. The player with the highest score is the winner. 3-player game. The rules are taken from the game for 4 players and only changed in the following points. One of the character cards is not dealt. It is returned to the box and the corresponding space in the starting player row is covered with a Nyet token for the entire game. The 4 playing cards with their value 2 are sorted out and placed in the box. The remaining 36 cards are distributed so that everyone receives 12. The respective starting player decides whether they want to play alone or with a partner, so that play is 2 against 1. When scoring, the soloist doubles the number of tricks and loot cards won. The game ends after 6 rounds. Shortened game. If you want to play a shorter game, play 3 rounds with 3 players or 4 rounds with 4 players. Changes. Player count. The 1997 edition accommodates 3 to 4 players, while the 2007 and 2015 editions accommodate 2 to 5 players. The game boards. Slight additions and changes in the 2007 and 2015 editions compared to the original 1997 edition. Number of components. Cards. The number of playing cards is 60, including a monster bonus card from the 2007 and 2015 editions, compared to the 40 playing cards present in the 1997 edition. Nyet tokens. Different amounts of Nyet tokens in each edition. They all look different. The 2015 edition's Nyet tokens depict characters corresponding to each player, helping keep track of who placed each Nyet token in each spot. The 1997 edition included a score pad, and the 2007 edition included a score sheet. The 2015 edition failed to include any. Postcards are included in the 2015 edition. Nyet is a fantastic trick-taking card game that truly shines with 4 players, which is my preferred way to play. The game typically takes around an hour or less to complete, and the playtime can be adjusted according to preference, making it quite flexible for different gaming sessions. As one of the standout trick-taking games from the 90s, Nyet offers a gameplay experience that is both engaging and dynamic. The mechanics are easy to learn and teach, allowing players to jump right in and start playing. The artwork across all editions is superb, with each version bringing its own unique flavor. While the components in every edition are standard and functional, nothing particularly stands out, which is a minor point given the overall enjoyment derived from the game. Personally, I played the Goldsieber Spiele edition the most, and it remains my favorite. However, I've also appreciated some of the additions found in the newer versions, such as the no trump option and the negative point scoring. These elements enhance the game's replayability and can be easily integrated into the original game by adding a couple of extra chips and house ruling it. The gameplay is very engaging and dynamic. Players will rush to place their Nyet tokens on the trumps and super trumps. These 2 rows usually get filled quickly in every game. Each round feels unique thanks to the varied choices made during the Nyet phase, which keeps the gameplay fresh and exciting. Overall, Nyet is a delightful trick-taking game that I thoroughly enjoy. I highly recommend it to anyone who appreciates 4-player card games, especially fans of the trick-taking genre. It offers a fun, fast-paced experience that is sure to entertain. I'm starting to share my favorite board games from my collection, so be sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on today's board game. Until next time, take care. Peace.